I will show you how to install a set of HID fog lights. We'll be swapping out the stock 880 light bulb for an HID light bulb in a 2002 Chevy Silverado 3/4 ton pickup. Well, to start out, we purchased these Xtune HID headlights through coolbulbs.com, and so when they open the box, you see you've got a set of instructions, 2 ballasts, and 2 sets of headlights, and also the wiring harnesses. As I mentioned, this is for a 2002 Chevy Silverado pickup with the stock fog lights. Your installation, if it's a Chevy product, I would imagine would be very similar to what I'm going to show you. So the first thing we want to do is locate the existing fog light, which is actually pretty easy to get to. Pretty wide open here behind the front bumper. Just twist, the bulb comes out, and you have it right there. Be able to get to undo the tab, the light bulb pops out. It's pretty simple. So to make the installation a little bit easier, I've actually removed the entire fog light housing from the bumper. This is the adjustment knob for your height up and down, and inside you can see there is the bulb deflector housing inside there, and the length of the new bulb is longer than the length of the existing 880 bulb. So I'll be putting a screwdriver in the back, being very careful, and pushing that forward and down to try to get a little bit more space between the tip of the bulb and the bulb deflector or reflector in there. So I wanted to show you the difference between the standard 880 bulb, which is this one here, and here's the HID bulb. And if you put them together, you can kind of see the height difference there. There's probably between 1/4 of an inch and maybe 3/8 of an inch in length difference between the HID bulb. So that's the reason for moving that reflector housing inside there, so the bulb doesn't hit. Okay, so I've used a screwdriver through the lamp access hole and have moved that deflector forward, and I'm just going to use you can use pretty much anything. I'm going to use a dial caliper and place the depth in to see what kind of depth we have, and then place that against the HID light, and it looks like we have 1/8 of an inch or maybe 3/16 of an inch clearance. So we know that the bulb will go in and then not hit the tip of that metal, and so there we go. I have removed this extra wire from the kit that I have that's no longer needed. Comes out of the boot. I will actually cut this part of this boot off just to make it a little bit easier, not have to have this thing hanging around out there. The next thing we need to do is just make the connections, which is really pretty easy. It's a male-female fit. They only go one direction and they snap in. Gives you a watertight fit. Bulb's ready to go, and then this end here is where the plug from the existing light will plug into here. You have to make sure that the polarity is correct. One way to find out is, if you don't know, plug it in, try it, turn it on, see if it works. If it doesn't, take it out, return it over to the other side. Now I'm ready to take the whole entire system and put it back together again. Make sure that you line up the correct key. Do not touch the bulb. If you do touch the bulb with your hand, try to wipe it off with some alcohol. And it looks like we're going to go ahead and put this whole assembly on the car. Should be ready to go in a few minutes. So I've made the final connection from the ballast to the existing original lamp wiring, and you can see the light is on, so we have the polarity correct. If it didn't come on, then I would take out the plug, turn it the other way, plug it back in, and then try it again. For my application, I was able to find a location on the frame to mount the ballast with the hardware that was provided, and then also I put a wire tie around the whole unit and then back up to the wiring harness, and then it was able to take the other leads and wire tie them to the frame, and then there's the lamp fixture back in place. So I've installed one of the HID fog lights in the driver's side to give you the difference between this HID, and then I'll switch over to the standard bulb. And here is the standard bulb on the passenger side. So here's the difference. On the left is the blue HID light, and of course on the right is the standard lamp that you would get at a auto parts store. So now that I have the lamps aimed, you can really see the difference with the light projection and the color.